Hello friends, namaskar and welcome all of you to my channel. आजको डिस्कसनमा हामी चाहिँ फाइनान्शियल स्टेटमेन्ट एनालाइसिस कसरी गर्न सक्छौं त द्याट्स अ बिग क्वेशन्स र फर्स्ट अफ अल हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो भने वी हैव टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द गिवन कम्पनीज फाइनान्शियल स्टेटमेन्ट्स जसको लागि तपाईले यु हैव टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड योर एनुअल रिपोर्ट and you have to understand their income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, and by using the ratio analysis हामी के गर्न सक्छौं भने we could at least quantify understand the overall financial situation of the selected company, whether that is the trading company भनौं, manufacturing company भनौं, let's see the airlines industry को भनौं या hotel industry को भनौं. It depends on the all your quantitative analysis, your overall how you take decisions and provide your judgment accordingly. Okay, but still ratio analysis को चाहिँ limitation हरु छन्. That means we 100% believe in the secondary data analysis. So to support this analysis, always good to have some qualitative analysis too, friends. Okay, now based on this background, let's move to the discussion on the you are given the Norton Corporation balance sheet for 24 and 2023, and you could find the third column is that we have an average. Okay, so we know that साथीहरु चाहिँ that is the current asset भनिसकेपछि that's a cash, account receivable. Net means after excluding the provision for bad debt भन्छौं हामी. Now inventory, prepaid expenses. Anyway, I have calculated the average since while using the receivable turnover ratio, inventory turnover ratio, I need the average value. So what about the property, plant and equipment? In this case we have a land, building and equipment, and this building and equipment भनिसकेपछि that means after provision for depreciation गराइसकेपछिको अवस्थालाई हामीले building and equipment net भन्छौं साथीहरु चाहिँ. Okay, now this is the fixed assets total. र total asset भनिसकेपछि that is the current asset plus fixed asset. Now what about the liabilities and stockholder equity? र liability भनिसकेपछि it could be short term liability या current liability भनौं र अर्को भनेको long term liability भन्ने बुझ्नु पर्यो. In this case अब हामीसँग चाहिँ account payable छ. That means when we buy the goods with verbal arrangement त्यसलाई हामीले account payable भन्ने बुझ्छौं साथीहरु चाहिँ. Okay, but anyway this is given, and since यदि हामीले payable deferred period निकाल्नु पर्यो भने हामीले average निकाल्नु पर्ने हुन्छ. Now notes payable, it could be short term and it could be long term too. Now what about the bond payable छ? Bond payable is that is a 70,000 and this is 78,000. All data given in the 1000 figure. Now what about the total liabilities या total debt भन्ने बित्तिकै हामी short term debt र long term debt एड गर्यो भने that will provide you total liability. र what about the common stock? अब यहाँ साथीहरु बुझ्नु पर्ने हुन्छ तपाईहरुले चाहिँ common stock 100 par means par value of the common stock is the 100. Okay, so that means when you divide this value by 100, that will provide you number of common share. Okay, so in this case number of common share भन्ने बित्तिकै हामी कति हुन्छ त 274 plus 170 divided by 2 गर्यो भने that will provide you 222 number of common share outstanding. It यो कतिखेर चाहिन्छ भने हामीले let's see the for example तपाईको चाहिँ book value per share निकाल्नु पर्यो भने या earning per share निकाल्दाखेरि we need this value. Okay, now common stock and additional paid in capital sum लाई हामीले contributed capital भन्छौं साथीहरु चाहिँ. Okay, र अर्को भनेको return earning भनेको सकेपछि यसलाई हामीले internal source of finance पनि भन्छौं. र once you add the return earning to contributed capital, that will provide the total stockholder equity. So I need again the average निकालिसकेको छ because as per need when you are given 2 year को figure छ भने हामीले average लिनु पर्ने हुन्छ साथीहरु चाहिँ. If you are given just 1 year छ भने हामीले 1 year कै लिने हो फेरि. Now we could conceptualize all this figure by using the accounting equation. If you remember, जस्तो कि हामीले analysis of accounting information भनौं या financial accounting subject मा for each chapter we try to conceptualize by using the accounting equation concept A equals to L plus E. For 2024 को लागि चाहिँ अब our asset value कति छ हाम्रो 3,46,390. Okay, त्यसले गर्दा that is why we see that this, and this is our liability part 1,12,000 र अर्को equity भन्ने बित्तिकै कति छ यसको equity shareholder equity 2,34,390. Okay, Similarly 2023 को लागि चाहिँ what about the assets? Asset 3 lakh and its liability is 1,20,000 र अर्को भनेको shareholder equity is the 1,80,000. That means asset equals to liabilities plus equity हुनै पर्ने हुन्छ. That is the common understanding of your accounting equation. या double entry system भन्न सक्छौँ हामी. Okay, now what about the income statement? अब income statement मा पनि के गरेछ भने 2024 and 2023 data are given. Okay, so lastly net income या earning after tax is there. Then required भन्ने बित्तिकै there are some, even though in exam you may not be asked, these are the ratio and like this, but at the graduate level, at the master level, any professional examination, तपाईले के गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ भने based on your overall understanding how you are going to segment different ratio, त्यो segment भनिसकेपछि one is the liquidity ratio भन्छौँ, अर्को asset management, solvency, leverage, capital structure भन्छौँ, profitability and the market values ratio. अब जाउँ साथीहरु चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ that's all about कि what about the current ratio before working capital सोधिरहेछ. What about the working capital? Working capital भनिसकेपछि हामीले पहिला त I'm going to find the working capital for 2024. So current asset कति छ त 65,000 and current liability is 42,000. So in this case हाम्रो current liability current asset minus current liability भनेको जसलाई हामीले net working capital भन्छौँ साथीहरु चाहिँ. We have two concept of working capital here. One is the gross concept भनिसकेपछि that's the total current assets. र net working capital भनिसकेपछि that's the difference between current asset minus current liability. Now when you analyze this one, current asset भन्दा current asset is higher than that of current liability छ भने this is the good situation for a company. Okay. Now at the same time अब for example अब current ratio निकाल्नु पर्यो भने working capital is not the ratio, this is just amount. अब current ratio भन्ने बित्तिकै हामी के गर्छौं, again current assets divided by साथीहरु चाहिँ के गर्छौं, current liability ले टक्क डिवाइड गरिदिनु पर्यो. Okay, this is 1.548. That means तपाईको current asset higher than current liability छ भने your value would be greater than 1 हुन्छ. That is the good भन्नु पर्छ, that's a short term solvency ratio. Now what about the quick ratio? अब current ratio has some problem. त्यो प्रब्लम कस्तो छ भने जस्तो इन्भेन्टरी या प्रिपेड एक्सपेन्सेस हामीले एक्सक्लुड गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ टु फाइन्ड दी क्विक एसेट्स. अब यहाँ तपाईले के गर्नु पर्यो भने पहिला त करेन्ट एसेट कति छ त फर 2024 अगेन 65,000. देन यु हेभ टु एक्सक्लुड दी इन्भेन्टरी आउट गर्दियौ, त्यहाँबाट फेरि हामीले प्रिपेड एक्सपेन्सेस आउट गर्नु पर्यो एन्ड होल डिवाइडेड बाइ कति करेन्ट लायबिलिटीज. या सो तपाईहरु करेन्ट लायबिलिटीज कति भयो भने मैले 3 डिजिट सम्म लिइरा छु, यहाँ 3 डिजिट सम्म नै लियौ है. ओके 1.190. These are the commonly used ratio for that's a liquidity ratio भन्छौं या short term solvency ratio. Now what about the asset management ratio जसलाई हामीले अब turnover ratio या that's activity ratios पनि भन्छौं. Now what about the account receivable turnover ratio? Just to find the days sales outstanding हामीले अब let's say the working note मा हामीले निकाल्नु पर्ने हुन्छ, that is the account receivable turnover ratio. So net sales, okay, this is the let's say that I'm going to find for 2024 net sales divided by your average receivable. Average receivable भनेको मैले सुरुमै निकालिसकेको छु, that is this plus this divided by 2. Yes, so this is our account receivable turnover ratio. अब क्वेशन के आयो भने हामीले कति दिनमा आफ्नो अब उधारो बेचेको सामान कलेक्ट गर्न सक्छौं त क्याश, हाउ लङ इट विल टेक टु कलेक्ट द क्याश, त्यो भन्ने बित्तिकै हामी लेट्स से एज्युम दैट 365 डेज इन अ इयर, के पनि भनेको छैन भने हामीले 365 or 360 डेज लिन सक्छौं. Once you divide by account receivable turnover ratio, that will provide you days sales outstanding, friends. Okay, so you can say that approximately कति दिन लागिरहेछ भने 14 days to collect your receivable amount. That is the way you could analyze it. अब higher the days sales outstanding, the higher would be the chance of uncollectible account भन्छौं या bad debt. So it's very important, friends. We have to collect our receivable fast so that we could meet our short term obligation. Okay, now what about the inventory turnover ratio? अब inventory turnover ratio को लागि हामीले अब कस्ट अफ गुड्स सोल्ड हेर्नु पर्ने हुन्छ है कस्ट अफ गुड्स सोल्ड अगेन दैट इज अ पार्ट अफ इन्कम स्टेटमेन्ट ओके दिस इज 1,40,000 डिवाइडेड बाई कस्ट अफ गुड्स सोल्ड डिवाइडेड बाई एभरेज इन्भेन्ट्री चाहियो मलाई ओके दिस इज द इन्भेन्ट्री एभरेज भनेको दिस प्लस दिस डिवाइड बाई 2 ओके दैट इज आवर इन्भेन्ट्री टर्नओभर रेशियो कति आयो भने 12.727 अब हामीले इन्भेन्ट्री टर्नओभर रेशियो कति फास्ट हामीले इन्भेन्ट्रीलाई मोबिलाइज गर्न सकिरहेछौँ ओके थ्रु द बेटर इन्भेन्ट्री म्यानेजमेन्ट भन्ने बुझ्नु पर्यो सो द्याट वी कुड मिट कस्टमर डिमान्ड अन द टाइम सो आवर टार्गेट इज टु अब हाउ फास्ट या हाउ क्विकली वी मिट द कस्टमर डिमान्ड भन्ने बुझ्नु पर्यो सो अगेन अब लेट्स सी द आई एम गोइङ टु फाइन्ड द डेज इन इन्भेन्ट्री या इन्भेन्ट्री कन्भर्जन पिरियड चाहियो भने डेज डिवाइडेड बाई यो गर्नुभयो भने तपाईँले कति आउँछ भने 28.679 बट एक्चुली हाम्रो जति सर्टर हुन्छ द्याट इज द गुड सिचुएसन फर द कम्पनी ओके नाउ व्हाट अबाउट द फिक्स एसेट टर्नओभर रेशियो फिक्स एसेट टर्नओभर देयर आर सो मेनी टर्नओभर रेशियो साथीहरु चाहिँ मैले सकेसम्म सबै राख्न खोजे यहाँ फेरि नाउ फिक्स एसेट टर्नओभर रेशियो भन्ने बित्तिकै द्याट इज द नेट सेल्स ओके आई एम गोइङ टु फाइन्ड फर 2024 ओके दिस इज फिक्स एसेट टर्नओभर रेशियो नाउ व्हाट अबाउट द फिक्स एसेट्स कहाँ छ हेर्नु है फिक्स एसेट भनेको यो हो दिस इज द एभरेज दिस सो हाम्रो फिक्स एसेट टर्नओभर रेशियो इज 1.856 अब जाउँ साथीहरु चाहिँ द्याट इज अल अबाउट एसेट टर्नओभर रेशियो फर एसेट टर्नओभर रेशियो अगेन हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो अगेन द्याट इज द नेट सेल्स हेर्नु पर्यो ओके टर्नओभर भनिसकेपछि मैले यहाँ आई विल जस्ट रिपिट इट जस्तो हामीले के गरेछ भने I will repeat it for fixed asset turnover ratio sales तपाईको कति छ त हेर्नु पर्यो है this divided by तपाईको fixed asset हेर्नु पर्ने हुन्छ fixed asset value average okay okay that is the 1.856 similarly you can do for total asset turnover ratio so that is our sales back to your net sales divided by हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो that's the your fixed as total asset turnover ratio what about the total assets yeah average okay this way you could find the asset turnover ratio and the more important point is that तपाईले analysis गर्दाखेरि look at your numbers and based on the concept तपाईले analysis गर्नु पर्यो फेरि okay now what about the solvency ratio साथीहरु चाहिँ solvency या leverage sometime gearing ratio या capital structure पनि भन्छौ इन फाइनान्स राइट सो व्हाट अबाउट द डेट इक्विटी रेशियो अब डेट भनिसकेपछि लुक एट द टोटल लायबिलिटी हेर्नु पर्यो सो आई एम गोइङ टु फाइन्ड द टोटल अल दिस रेशियो फर करेन्ट पिरियड 2024 सो डेट भनेको कति छ त दैट इज द 1,12,000 अब यो के सोधेछ भने डेट टु व्हाट इज दैट तपाईको चाहिँ डेट टु इक्विटी रेशियो सो व्हाट अबाउट द इक्विटी वी हैव इक्विटी कति छ त यस दिस yes तपाईको debt to equity ratio is this one अब what about the equity percentage या equity ratio भन्दाखेरि you would have two option here कि हामीले shareholder equity divided by total asset गर्छौं या 1 divided by 1 plus debt equity ratio गर्दा पनि you will get the same value okay I will show you अब यहाँ जाउँ हामी that is the shareholder equity अब shareholder equity भनेको यो value हो divided by total assets ल आयो okay this is all about 0.677 now अब यो युज गरौँ फर्मुला है okay that is the 1 divided by 1 plus debt equity ratio यदि हामीसँग छ भने हामी निकाल्न सक्छौं okay that is 0.677 okay अब जाउँ हामी साथीहरु चाहिँ that is what about the debt ratio मतलब टोटल एसेट को कति % डेट हुन्छ त okay that is the case so total liabilities हेरौँ कति छ हाम्रो what is about total liability okay 1,12,000 divided by total assets total assets not this one total asset भनेको यहाँ छ है ल okay this is the debt ratio is 0.323 या हामी यसरी पनि गर्न सक्छौं साथीहरु चाहिँ 1 माइनस यो फ्र्याक्सन घटाइदियो भने इक्विटी that will provide you the overall debt ratio if you multiply with 100 that will provide you in percentage total भनेको 1 हुनु पर्छ फ्र्याक्सन मा या इन पर्सेन्टेज 100 हुनु पर्छ ओके नाउ व्हाट अबाउट द टाइम इन्ट्रेस्ट अर्न रेशियो जसलाई हामीले इन्ट्रेस्ट कभरेज रेशियो भन्छौं इट मेजर्स द इन्ट्रेस्ट पेइङ क्यापेसिटी अफ द बोरोवर ओके सो एज अ क्रेडिटर्स हामी के गर्छौं भने या लोन प्रोवाइडर फाइनान्सर प्रिफर टु फाइनान्स या रिन्यू द लोन वी सी दैट if time interest on ratio is higher. Okay, so what about the EBIT भनेको operating profit भन्छौँ. Operating profit, that is, you can find, yeah, this one 84,000 divided by interest कति छ त हेर्नु. Interest is 7,300. Okay, ल this is 11 point. यो times मा हुन्छ फेरि. Higher the interest coverage ratio is a good situation for the borrower, at the same time to the creditors also. Okay, what about the profitability ratio साथीहरु? Profitability ratio भन्ने बित्तिकै हामी we do that is net profit margin. अब net profit margin भनेको this net profit margin on what? Sales. And then you just multiply with the 100. Yes, 10.86. Now what about the return on equity? अब return on equity भनिसकेपछि generally we say that earning after tax minus preference dividend divided by average, that is equity भन्छौँ, right? अब that is the, what would be the return on equity to the common shareholder भन्न खोजेको यो फेरि है. Since we don't have the preference dividend here, तपाईले के गर्नु पर्यो भने that is the return means that is the net profit, yeah, net income divided by what about the average shareholder equity. Yes, this is, so you just multiply with 100, it will provide you return on equity. Now what about the return on assets? For return on assets को लागि फेरि के गर्नु पर्यो? Again you would be using the net income divided by your total assets को हेर्नु पर्यो है. Total assets यो पनि यो, या यो, this is average value into 100. Okay, then what about the basic earning power ratio? जस्तो कि अब to what extent the use of asset contributes towards the operating profit भन्छौँ हामी है. So that's the operating profit, net operating income पनि भन्छौँ. Yeah, this is 84,000 divided by average asset value. Average asset is, okay, that's the average asset to, yeah, this one. You just multiply with the 100. Okay. Okay, what about the earning per share? अब earning per share भन्दाखेरि अब जस्तो as a investor point of view also, all these fundamental factors तपाईले एनालाइसिस गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ before moving to the equity market भन्छौँ, right? So earning per share भनिसकेपछि फेरि we say that, yeah, EAT भनौँ, yeah, this is अब यहाँ भनौँ न, yeah, earning per share भनिसकेपछि earning after tax, we don't have any preference dividend, right? So is the earning after tax भनिसकेपछि, yeah, net income divided by number of common share outstanding साथीहरु चाहिँ. अब common share outstanding I already calculated here. Okay, that's our EPS भनेको our 241.847 आयो. Now what about the market values ratio साथीहरु चाहिँ? अब market values ratio भनिसकेपछि हामीले जस्तो कि book value per share निकाल्नु पर्यो साथीहरु चाहिँ. अब book value per share भनिसकेपछि what about the shareholder equity? जस्तो for example, what about the book value per share for, अब that's 2024 को लागि हामीले equity कति छ? Book value per share को equity हेर्नु पर्यो यो year को. Okay, this one, our equity. Okay, this book value per share divided by number of average number of common share outstanding लिनु पर्यो. Okay, this is amazing. This is 1055. यो भनेको this is all are the hypothetical data लिएको मैले एउटा let's see the कुनै questions लिँदाखेरि, but your job is to you have to work with the real data for any companies and you could apply it, friends. Okay, अब जाउँ हामी चाहिँ साथीहरु चाहिँ, that's all about what about the price earning ratio, because as an investor you are willing to, how much you are willing to pay for this stock. Okay, so we can say that price, let's say assume that कि हाम्रो price 1200 छ अरे मार्केटमा. ओके, मार्केट भन्दाखेरि let's say in our case नेपाल स्टक एक्सचेन्ज, इन्डियन टेक्सटाइल मा लाइक बम्बे स्टक एक्सचेन्ज लाइक दैट, या एनी स्टक एक्सचेन्ज को तपाईको कम्पनीको कति रहेछ त प्राइस divided by your EPS. We have just calculated EPS, this one. So you can say that 4.962 times higher value would be the good for the investors. Okay, but यहाँ तपाईले के बुझ्नु पर्यो भने फेरि मार्केट भ्यालु पर शेयर बढिरहेछ but your company's earning per share घटिरहेछ भने something wrong in the company भन्ने बुझ्नु पर्यो. So you should believe in some other calculation too. Just P ratio may not help you better. Okay, अब जाउँ हामी मार्केट टु बुक भ्यालु रेशियो. एज एक्सप्लेन अर्लियर मैले मार्केट भनेको 1200 भने डिवाइडेड बाइ, ओके, दिस इज Yeah, this is 1200 divided by E book value per share. Yeah, this one. So भनेको that is the market to book value ratio is the 1.137. Okay friends, आजको भिडियो is all about how we analyze the financial statement analysis हो. Just to financial statements for any company, yeah, either that is a manufacturing company भनौँ या trading company या selected hotel भनौँ या even the airlines, yeah, even the BFI friends. BFI मा अलिकति एडजस्टमेन्ट गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ because current ratio, quick ratio may not work in the banking. In that case, we have to use the cash reserve ratio like that. Okay, आशा गर्छु कि whatever I discussed today, that would definitely enrich your understanding of the financial statements and how we analyze the financial selected financial statement by using ratio analysis, friends. Despite it has some limitation too, to just enrich our understanding, it is good to analyze, calculate, analyze, and then provide your judgment या opinion. Okay, based on this background, यदि तपाईलाई आजको भिडियो राम्रो लागेको छ भने प्लिज लाइक पनि गर्नु होला र मेरो च्यानल फाइनान्स गुरु पवन कुमार झालाई सब्स्क्राइब गर्नु होला. Thank you all of you for watching this video. Please take care all of you. Thank you.